Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, family, and other creatures of the night. My name is Rina, the storyteller, and I welcome you to Red Center by Night. Our hunters are ready for this new episode. This is the second Inquisition's point of view of the story, and once again, a little warning that those supernatural creatures like vampires, werewolves, and other beings are romanticized. It doesn't change the fact that they are undead or a monster. They are no longer they're no longer living and no longer able to enjoy the same lifestyle they used to have as a mortal. The second Inquisition storyline here is to be able to let you view the way a normal human sees these creatures. Our scene opens up to a video recording. Quite old, maybe camcorder quality. We first see wooden flooring, and then the camera raises up and we see an Asian child with her back to us. Her long wavy hair framed her small body as she sat still on the floor, while two old Asian ladies painted runes of Chinese characters onto her bare skin. She wore nothing but a cloth that covered the lower half of her body. What's the runic markings for? We hear an American male ask from behind the camera, and the three ladies ignored him for a few minutes as they concentrated on painting it all in a straight line. The camera tilts sharply to the right, and we see an elderly Chinese man approaching. He wore a simple garb, but he walked with authority. The old man smiles to the camera for a second before turning to look up at the cameraman. "It is for protection," the old man whispered softly, and the American asked, Protection for what?" The elder turned away to look towards the three ladies as he says, "Against the Quajians." After those words are uttered, the camera glitched for a while, fast forwarding through all the footage, before an image of a white military looking guy is shakenly shown. It seemed like something had forced its way out of its mouth, essentially tearing it apart. Then, our camera dies. Well, what a grim story. Now, shall we begin our story? In the previous episode, our agents experienced a relatively tranquil period in Alice Springs, providing viewers with a glimpse of how the cell operates during downtime. Despite the apparent calm, the agents remained engaged in various activities, learning new skills, knowledge to keep themselves occupied. A pivotal moment arose when a fetter obtained during a past incident at the casino unveiled a shocking revelation. The fetter belonged to none other than one of the agent's own aunts, who turned out to be the wraith responsible for a fatal accident at the casino, resulting in the death of an individual. During this time, the agents also had the opportunity to meet their objective, Jackson, who subsequently disclosed his prior knowledge of the Bahari gathering. This revelation prompted the cell to consider the gathering's significance as they continued their duties. As the events unfolded, the cell found themselves faced with another incident at the casino, presenting an identical modus operandi to the one from the previous month. However, this time, the stakes were higher, as they found themselves not only dealing with the enigmatic blank bodies, but also having to contend with the involvement of some Americans. Derogatory. With tensions mounting and complexities of the situations going on, let's Let's wind time a little bit to 2 months ago. During the dive in the salt mines, Professor Tristan, you have found Mr. Talon. However, the Mr. Talon you have found is an elderly man, still wearing the same clothes as he wore when you last saw him. But this time, he is nothing but bare bones, barely moving, as he seems to be later on in years. Maybe late 80s, 90s. And he barely knows what is happening outside.
So that hasn't changed.
What did Tristan... What's going through Tristan's mind when he saw Mr. Talon?
A combination of... It's sad to see like Talon, who's usually so strong and powerful, in this sort of state, but also happy to have sort of found where Talon was, seeing as Talon was the missing piece of the original 3 that were in the mines.
Did you actually bring out Mr. Talon during this time?
Do I take him out?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
And where have you put him away?
Really, it depends on where he'd like to go. Is there any destination he really wants to be?
He seems to be suffering from dementia, so most of the time he is just asking questions about maybe past missions, but
I guess probably just stay at the Ark under medical watch with restricted access to specific places.
did it make you feel like you are missing something?
Did it?
Did it make it feel like you were missing something?
With having him gone or having him back?
Having him back.
It's good, I guess, to have, like, Talon's part of the Inquisition, so people going missing and different people appearing from now that Tristan sees versus what he saw last time is concerning. So having Talon back, at least, it's also it's good to know where people are and like that where the people who affected things last time and what they're up to, what they're doing. So Talon's another name sort of off the list of know where they are, know what they're up to, able to keep an eye on them.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, the idea Tristan's like anytime Talon's the sort of asking questions and seems feeble, Tristan's very sus, like, I'm gonna keep an eye on you in case this is a elaborate plot. Just because you're old doesn't mean you're not less tricky. I'm proof of that.
And with that image of the elderly Mr. Talon, maybe even overlapping with the younger Mr. Talon, we return back to present time where what seems to be an American agent from the American branch of the Pine Gap showing up. He seems to have the similar vibe as the Mr. Talon from the original timeline. And he is standing there like, this is our kind of mission. We were here first.
We're a joint operation. There's no your mission, our mission. It's the mission.
It's the mission, but I am in charge here right now.
Excellent. I'm glad to hear it. Perfect. Can you give us a rundown on what's happened then?
Seems to be a explosion.
Mm-hmm.
Currently, right now, we have some agents already clearing out the civilians.
There was an explosion?
Yep.
We ended our last
wondering,
episode.
like, what sort of explosion? Okay. Just want more details about the explosion. Talk to me about the explosion.
Sharks explosions.
Maybe you can investigate the explosions.
I mean, I'm happy to. Can I go do that now?
Not alone.
So there was an explosion. Continue.
Currently trying to evacuate all civilians before we move in.
Excellent. How's it going? What do you think's inside? Have you been to the casino before? Is this a repeat engagement?
Well, this is gonna be the first engagement, but it's not gonna be the last.
Excellent. Well, we performed a mission here previously. We have some operational awareness. So,
Okay, well, how about you take that, hotel area, and I'll take this area, as he points towards the events area in the opposite direction.
Where was the explosion? Because I'll head in that
Near the
direction.
events area.
I'm going to go investigate that way because that's what you wanted me to do, right?
Yeah, I think we have our ordnance expert here having a look into the
So
explosion.
I'll take her with me,
Sure.
and you guys can take the other side.
Well, would you like a debrief of what happened here previously, or are you, despite the fact that this is your first engagement, you're absolutely certain before moving in?
Did you assume that I didn't know what the previous incident here was?
Yes.
And he starts to, scoff. I'll have you know that I know what happened here last time. Which you failed to cover up, really, Brad Pitt?
So let me get so I can understand. This is a joint operation that you're in charge of. That's fine, and a vital resource has turned up with operational knowledge, prior engagement experience, and instead of trying to work together, you'd rather just do it yourself and see how it goes.
Exactly.
No worries. Well,
And then you see, like, the van, like, their van open up, and you see a tall, extremely tall lady, seems to be African American. She's already in full gear, and she barks out, "Hey Smith, shut the fuck up!"
I already love her.
Agent Smith, I should have guessed.
And she walks up to all for review and says, "Hello, my name's Agent Walker, Vera Walker, from the American base. Obviously, it's obviously just our first week here in America, in Australia rather."
Given Professor Tristan and
Tanya.
the team.
Mr. Locke, welcome to Australia.
Dr. Yue.
It's nice to meet you.
You as well.
You're so buff.
And you see Smith just like shake his head and then walk towards the van as well. Like, "I do apologize for my team."
That's fine.
He's charming. What are you talking about?
Quite charming. Yes. Did I hear about a previous incident?
Absolutely. There was have you been debriefed at all about what occurred 2 months ago?
No. Unfortunately, we just got here. We were from Sydney for a few days, debriefing with Arbiter.
There was previously a incursion of a blank body in here alongside a wraith. Couldn't ascertain what the overall goal was, but they are of the La Sombra clan, and enormous casualties seem to kind of be the only real goal that they're working towards.
A wraith with a La Sombra class? That's quite unnatural. That's quite bizarre, yes, that's exactly it. It's usually the Hikata class clan, yeah?
It may not be the same person in there, it might be something else, but that's what previously we faced. The level of the way it managed to avoid original detection was taking on the appearance of one of the civilians and abducting one of the guards for their identification.
I see. It's quite concerning. Is there any agents that went missing lately?
Not to our knowledge, but that doesn't mean that it's absolutely the case. While last time they abducted one of the security guards of the casino, and they showed a bizarre willingness to work alongside authority until the last moment, so assume anybody and everybody in there may be
working for them. Right. It's gonna make it tricky. There's quite an event happening. It's a lot of the civilians. We already called the ambulance, unless you also have your own bus coming, or...
No, not currently. We're the first responders on the scene at the moment.
Right. Well, I would love to work together. Just ignore Smith. I'm gonna put him on a different duty.
I'll gesture to the hotel over the hotel area. Like he suggested something potentially about someone monitoring over there. It could be.
Yeah, I'm sure that he would love that. Just knock on doors and ask questions. Do we have a potential suspect for this?
Not currently. I don't want to make the assumption that it's the same blank body as last time. But I'll give a brief description of Brad Pitt. It's like, that's what at least the appearance they had last time was. But short of the same location and rumors of the exact same thing happening. But also it might be, I don't know what sort of logistics you have in place, but there seems to be someone inside live streaming the event currently. So potentially shutting down the phone signal in this area, if you have access to that right now, could be viable.
Yeah, 1 second. And she starts walking away towards her black van. And then she opens the door and starts barking orders down to whoever's in there.
Not yet. Otherwise they're going to send one of them with you. You don't want that. Trust me.
And then after a few moments, she comes back. Done. So all signals, at least all the mobile phones are jammed. So if we have to contact each other, we have to use at least our special network.
Sounds good.
We have to cover. I already have one of the agents trying to cover up some of the, at least, knowledge that this could have been caused by something else. There's already reports coming in of a person with claws.
Interesting. It might be vital as well. Do you have road flares in the van at all, or access to any flares? Probably distributing those, because in the event that it is the same La Sombra, even using our special network, they're not going to be able to call for help if the La Sombra is in close vicinity.
Yeah, of course. Most of my agents are, at least the agents with me, are quite fit or specialized to fight against a La Sombra. Anybody who uses Oblivion.
Excellent.
We're going to be using like the local radio channels for like communication.
Yes.
What channel are you guys using?
And then she gives you like the channel.
Okay.
It is a special code rather than the public channels that you can.
Okay. So we'll make sure we have that channel, and we'll make sure we have a private channel set up as well.
No worries. All right, and she's setting it on her like radio and stuff. Should we split up or go as a group?
I think maybe splitting into 2 different teams, just in the effort of operation. One team maybe to investigate the explosives and ensure civilian casualties are kept to a minimum. Another group to primarily track the blank body. If that's amenable for everyone. Thoughts?
Works with me. It's gonna take another maybe 15 minutes for most of the civilians have already been evacuated to the parking lot. I'll have some of my men, unless you have some more people with you that could potentially interview some of these people for their eyewitnesses.
Not currently, but we can call for a request for more further support.
All right.
Aline came with us in the car, didn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. I'll ask Aline to contact the ARC with
Yeah.
a
Jackson's also there.
rundown. That's right, Jackson's coming with us. You're not going anywhere, Jackson.
This poor kid.
Aline, I'll request for Aline to debrief the ARC and maybe send a support bus as well.
And she does get into her laptop and starts typing out and calling agents.
Beautiful. While of course, like we're not here to take control if this is their operation. We're not here to subvert authority. But can I suggest maybe just a full lockdown of the casino, nobody in or out, for the time being?
No, Vera does like agree with that. Like, no, I agree. Like,
I like you, Vera. Is Vera got this? Is Society of Leopold as well? Or?
yeah, Society of Leopold.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, they're much better than I remember.
Did they say they'd started evacuating civilians?
They're already almost done.
Cool.
Like most of them are just sitting around there. They've been separated into the what seems to be like the evacuation area in the parking lot. Most of the people who are unharmed are in one side over at left side. Right side are mostly the injured and wounded that they're still bringing out. People have started breaking down once the initial shock of the explosion and the stampede is over.
Cool.
Tanya and Yue, should you check out the explosion and go through the evacuees to potentially sense anyone who isn't appearing as they should? And I'll take the professor with me.
Cool. Let's go check out the bomb side.
You're far too excited.
I'm so excited.
I feel like Jackson, it's probably best you come with Locke and I. There's not much really help you talking to the injured that you're going to be able to provide.
Jackson does nod quietly as if he's quite scared.
Locke will protect you.
He looks towards Mr. Hawk.
You're in safe hands.
And he takes a deep breath as if he's gathering up all his courage, and he just nods mechanically, stiffly, and starts following Mr. Locke.
Let's lock and load.
I swear, Joel.
Willpower damage.
I think
Did Joel say that, or did the professor say
The line's blurred nowadays.
I think Tanya's going to sort of like start heading in towards where the explosions were reported from.
Yeah, we'll follow Tanya.
I think just like while they're sort of like heading in there, she's going to be like, so this is the second thing to happen here in like as many months, right? Like over the radio, so you guys can hear it as well. Like,
affirmative?
like, do we think that this casino is like important to something? Like,
It could just happen to be the largest gathering of people in the vicinity.
because like I know there was already an explosion here. Like, if we wanted to, if this location is like important to whatever's happening, we could just make there be no casino after this. We're already evacuating everyone. It's just an idea. I'm just brainstorming.
No, Tanya.
Let's try and get rid of the blank body.
I don't think the owners of this place would love that very much.
They have insurance.
This is
It's a victimless crime.
Also, this. What you would know at least.
This is on the private channel, so only these people will be hearing this just quietly.
This goes through the
I'm not saying that to the Americans.
But yeah, what you would know, Tristan, is that this place, the casino's Lassiter's, it is one of the first buildings that's been built here in Alice Springs. It's like it's one of the first entertainment businesses, at least. It has history, but
More
now it's
history
under a
every
different
day.
name.
We let's not blow it up. I do love the initiative though, and I appreciate the creative thinking.
We'll put a pin in it.
Yeah.
We'll circle back.
Keep the pin in it, and we're not pulling any pins and any explosives at all.
Well, change your mind. I've got plenty of Semtex.
It's interesting though that an explosive is being used. Like it's a very confident kindred who's playing with explosives, because that goes wrong. That's one of the few things that really can cause them to have a very, very bad time.
And I do think when we get the chance, we should research the occult relevance of this casino,
Yeah, absolutely.
just in case it is an area of significance.
Have we, like, I presume that we would have done an overall kind of casing of when the Ark was built here, places of, like, significance, not only for us to avoid and not to disturb, but also for if there's any changes or any external sort of influence. Is the casino, does that have a relevance that we're aware of?
No, it's just it's one of the only places where people actually gather to for entertainment. There's no actual power here or anything.
It's probably the primary hunting ground.
Alice
at the point
Springs, you
nowadays. Yeah.
Alice Springs. You take away the casino, what entertainment do you have?
The springs?
The waterless river, right?
the river that runs every
The
3
charming
years.
teens who hang under the bridges near the fire, who at no point ever have caused an issue.
All right, well, Tanya will let it go for now.
Vera will follow towards like the explosion area because she is some sort of bomb expert as well.
Nice.
Nice. Well, Dr. Yue would also like to activate Ghost Sight, just so that she's on the lookout for specters and wraiths. And also she'll be actively searching for anyone trapped under the rubbles or something like that, to see if anyone is in need of medical assistance.
All right.
What areas are we passing through to get to the explosion area?
You're the fastest way for you to get through towards the explosion area is either going through the events area towards the back or going around towards the back entrance of the employees
So, like, through the events area, like through the kitchen?
through the kitchen.
All right, let's go that way. I'm gonna go that way.
On the private channel as well, just to maybe keep an eye on Vera there. It's interesting for, you know, I'm all for the Society of St. Leopold being our new friends, but that does not historically add up, and
Agreed.
just keep a wary eye out, Yue.
Copy that. As we go through the kitchen, can I just...
The kitchen is no more.
Oh,
It was once the kitchen.
The whole area at least is like the second floor kitchen has now been blown off and you can see down to the first floor. There's still some places where it's still ablaze and you can see some actual volunteers just
I think Tanya's gonna immediately put a mask on to avoid the smoke. And can I have a look around and sort of see what sort of... get any clues from what sort of explosives were used or how they were sort of set up? Like, was it like a gas explosion or like some sort of like C4, Semtex? What sort of thing was used?
intelligence and investigation. Sorry. Intelligence and investigation, please. If you have any specialty in bombs or anything.
I do. I have a lot.
Specialty in bombs.
I have a lot of specialty in bombs.
You can add that as a die.
Okay, so intelligence and what was the second? Investigation. Where is that? Oh, I did for nothing in that. So intelligence and how many do I add for the bomb stuff? I'm not sure how to do that. Sorry.
How many bomb stuff do you have?
I've got 3.
Add 3 die.
Okay. 3 successes.
Would you like to willpower some of that?
Sure. Oh shoot! Sorry, I'm gonna just move those out of this. I got 1 more, but it's a 10. I don't know if that helps.
Is there another 10 there or just 110?
No, there was actually one other 10. Yes, one of the other
So
ones,
it's
the other 3
separate,
that I rolled
yeah.
before.
So that would be 6. Oh, all right. So you got a 4 and 2 10s. Yeah, 6. With 6 successes, you would know that this bomb has been caused by gas.
Oh, this is amateur hour.
You can deduce that somebody had turned on all the gas in the kitchen and just set it ablaze.
I'm gonna just get on the radio and be like, yeah, this is nothing fun. This is just... They hit the gas and let it go. It's
Messy.
It's
Amateur.
disappointing.
Amateur or someone who had to do something at the last second.
not either no premeditation or
This could also be a distraction, since it was done last minute and not quite planned.
or just senseless destruction as well. Could have just their goal is just as much carnage as possible.
Could it be trying to lure us away from something?
Okay, well, we figured out what the cause of this was. Let's keep moving because there's nothing we can do here. It's...
Can you check if there's any security cameras nearby? Because if we can look at the footage, we can check, you know, who was the last one out before it went ablaze.
Do you want us to do that first or go talk to the
No, talk
civilians?
first, but just see if you can notice any cameras nearby that we can request footage for.
Is there any cameras in the...
There's cameras around, yes.
Okay.
Maybe have mentioned that to Vera.
Vera, do you want to see if you can go and get this camera footage? We're going to go and talk to the the civilians and make sure that there's no one sus there. But it would be good to be able to see what's going on. If you want to go get on that, we can
Yeah.
go and...
Keep me looped in.
Yeah, naturally.
She does give you like a quick glance before like leaving towards the security room area of this casino, or where she assumes it would be. Leaving Tanya and Dr. Yue.
Do I see any specters or wraiths with my ghost sight?
No.
Do I see anyone injured?
No, there's just a lot of dead bodies around.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot
Maybe-
of dead bodies in the kitchen?
Not in the kitchen, but as you pass through the events hall, there is at least 27 people dead. As you pass through, from what you can see of the open bar, there's at least 13 people dead.
So is this on top of the 27, or is that just
It's on
part...
top of the
Okay,
27.
so that's in the event hall, and then 13.
Is this the new ad for gambling? Like, what are you really gambling with?
I think Tanya's just going to get on the radio and be like, it is a shit show down here. We've got like 40 people dead down here. There's like, it is just carnage. Does it look like it's the explosion, the smoke, or was there something else that attacked, like that killed them? Is it just obvious that they've been...
You will have to investigate separately about this.
Okay.
Yeah, investigate the wounds, because it could be Wraith, it could be Kindred, it might be
Well,
something.
I'm just wondering if
I-
we heard claws being mentioned. I'm just wondering if there's like obvious claw
Yeah,
marks on the
absolutely.
bodies.
I would like to do a medical analysis.
In which area?
We're in the event hall right now, aren't we?
Currently, no. You are in the kitchen area.
Oh,
So you're at the back employees area.
so... Yeah,
Yeah,
so
I just-
how did we find the bodies? Because didn't we
You
just
can
go
see
and have a look at the
you
bodies?
You can pass through the event area and you saw the bodies. And as you look towards like the kitchen area, there is an open door where the tempo bar is. That has all the bodies as well.
What's the concentration of dead? Is it like, are they all in the blast area, or are they extending out?
The tempo area, the tempo bar area this is within the blast zone.
So whereabouts is the hole that you can see through? Like what part is gone?
Okay, so we have the events area, tempo area down here where the employees area, right before you actually pass through like a big pit towards the storage area. That whole back wall is gone.
Okay, so it's not like they've turned on like the gas stove and where the gas stoves were is like gone. It's some
It's
other...
the whole area, like the whole back wall of this area, this building is.
Okay, but the kitchen is still there.
The kitchen is barely there.
Okay, sorry, I'm just trying to like get
Yeah,
a
it's
clear
already
idea in
been
my head what's going
collapsed
on.
to the first floor because
Okay.
currently are at the second floor in a way.
Okay.
I would, if, like, Tanya, you obviously know what you're doing, Tanya. I'd recommend potentially looking at the bodies on the outskirts of the blast and working your way in. Because if there's someone that maybe survived the blast and saw who caused it, they're going to have to silence them. So you're probably going to see wounds potentially inconsistent with the blast on those.
Yeah, that's a good
All right, let's go and have a look at the bodies in the event
event
hall
hall.
then.
Yeah.
Event hall it is. All right. How about you, Mr. Locke and Professor Tristan? What are you up to?
We're probably going to go into the casino with Jackson. So just give Jackson a bit of a pep talk. Like, listen, if something happens, something attacks, it's not your job to jump in. Just anything you can do to nullify it as much as possible to give us the best chance. And that's to just get somewhere safe and just do what you can.
Yes, sir.
Hide behind lock.
Yes, sir.
Beautiful. Well, let's go see what's happening in the casino. I didn't bring any coins, unfortunately.
That is not what we're here for.
I know, I didn't bring any.
Yeah, so I guess first place we're going to go and have a look at is the place where the person got cubed.
Bro, let's go. Well, let's go look inside. We'll see. Like, just find what we can. There's still people inside, isn't there?
No, they're all
they're all
they've
out?
all been evacuated.
evacuated.
Everyone has. Excellent. It's possible that. Well, you know what? I don't want to. Let's not construe. I guess I'm talking to myself. What's going to happen? What's in there? Yeah, let's probably go find the cubes first and work our way out.
No worries. Yep, so Mr. Locke's going to head into the casino looking for the area that matches the video footage that they saw of the cubed people.
Yep. That footage is the hallway heading towards Tally Restaurant. So, as you enter the casino, you turn right, pass through slot machines that have been turned off. Some of them are still open, seems to be glitch in the system because of the explosion. Instead of going right to where you can see the open door, the door of the tempo bar that has been blast open, where you can see some dead bodies, you turn left, and there it is, in that tiny hallway going to the Tali restaurant. A man that's been crumpled.
Is it the same consistent crumpling, as that's the technical term, as the previous Wraith attack?
It's exactly the same.
Alright, cool. So likelihood is a Wraith.
No worries. So you said it was a man?
It's a man.
The whole the power? I know the power was glitching. Is the security system for the casino still up and running, or is it completely the power's blown out for the majority and it's just like secondary generators running?
If you look at the security, it seems that it's already like been turned off.
All right.
Cool. There's no red light on any of it.
I'll just across the public channel that Vera has access to. Like, can we set up a rotating 3-minute roster of check-ins for every entrance just to make sure the agents are still there? Because the last thing I want to do is find out, like, it's killed everyone on the way out and it left. So just a 3-minute check-in, rotating roster.
That should be easy enough to do. Yep.
Beautiful. Thank you.
And you do hear it from the public, like the other public channel, to please inform us every 3 minutes that there is a rotating roster of agents to ensure that nobody has been either killed on the way out of this wraith. There is a possible wraith in this casino, so keep an eye on your, at least, partners. Make sure the buddy system is enforced, and inform us immediately if any of your partners or buddies have or is acting strange.
Well, and also, can we have someone maybe go into one of the different cell ranges or contact the Ark and just see if Coma's still somehow streaming? We need to make sure that's shut down.
You hear pause over like the receiver, like, what's Coma?
That's the handle of the individual who was streaming.
COMA, the YouTuber.
A YouTuber streaming. Yeah, that needs to be shut down immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Are they still streaming though? Because there should be no cell signals now.
That's what he's just checking. Yeah.
Yeah, just in case. All right.
And because I know the last time this wraith had the potential to change its appearance, the kindred had the potential to change their appearance. Just in case it tries to take over one of us, should we come up with a temporary code word?
It's not a bad idea.
When it takes the form of someone, does it take their memories?
No, it's just it's an illusion.
Just ask them something only they would know.
Or even, actually, as well, if on the chance that we are fighting La Sombra, just make sure or as much light sources you have around you is as bright as possible. The highest luminosity. Don't point them at UA.
I have a check that I would like to do if it's possible as well. Can I do an ordnance thing to make like some rock salt ammo?
Yeah.
Can I do that now? Yeah. Like if we're in the event hall?
100% of the time.
Yeah.
Get the remains of what's in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. If we're in the event hall, if the things are gross, I
there
grab
would
salt
be
off the
like
tables.
there's salt, like there's actual salt.
I mean, I'd probably have it on me anyway because I would be carrying stuff with me for this sort of thing anyway. But I thought if I need to justify it some other way.
Tristan is heavily invested in Red Rock salt chips.
1, 2, 3. Only got 3 for that one. Is that enough to make something?
With 3 successes, I would say you have 3 3 rounds of ammo. With
For which gun, or for each gun? Or just
Or
one?
just
For
one gun.
Which gun? Which gun? For the 9mm or for the sniper rifle?
Which gun would you like it to be?
Any? Yeah, I probably.
There's
That is
no
a
right or
Tanya
wrong.
question.
I probably. Let's say that it's for the rifle.
For the rifle.
50 cal rock salt.
388.
At that range, you don't even feel the rock salt. The rock salt is irrelevant. While on the topic of creative methods of fighting wraiths tend to, I'll say this to Vera across the public channel, wraiths feed off negative energy, or at least that's their goal is to cause negative emotions, which also could explain potentially what's going on here, but we'll tackle that in a moment. So as bizarre as this is going to sound, any music, anything, just keep it light, breezy, happy. The happier and brighter lit that the place is, the less La Sombra and wraiths are going to be able to influence the area.
As people's shock wears off, they're going to start feeling a lot worse. So anything's going to get a lot more powerful.
The support van, if it leans on the public channel, with coffees, donuts, warm goods, just keep things happy as much
Get
as
the
possible.
civilians as far away from here as possible.
Yeah, that also, but now that I've mentioned that, that also could potentially be, let's not jump to any theories, but one possible hypothesis for what's going on here, the maximum amount of negative emotions to empower a wraith as much as possible. So it could be that the wraiths are really calling the shots here, as opposed to then the kindred are just facilitating it.
Are you... Aline does say affirmative. Most of the injured people or wounded has been at least been transported, starting to be transported out of the casino towards the hospital.
Excellent. Now that we're inside the casino as well, are there any indications of, besides the meat cube, anything else in there? Like, are there, there was rumors of claws. Are there markings on the walls? Is there any specific scent or smell or any overall feeling that we're getting?
What's investigation?
Can I roll for that too?
Yes, of course.
Can we roll for that?
Did you think of it?
Well,
Was
we're not in the same spot. We're wanting to do
Yeah.
investigation
Yeah,
out in
no,
the event hall.
you're-
We'll wait for our
wait
thing.
for
Yeah.
that.
I'd say roll for what's an investigation as well, because you guys will be investigating something else.
5 successes.
5 successes, Mr. Law.
It was 3 successes, but 2 were crits.
Ooh, it's 5.
Ooh.
1.
Of course.
I don't have any in investigation. I'm not here for that.
That's right. We're here for the
Dr. Yue?
vibes.
I'm here for the vibes.
1.
Yeah, they're here
It's
for
just
the
a
vibe.
Vibe check is
You
I
said
am
no
here
bad
to
vibes.
help
That's why I'm
people
here.
To bring them back to optimal health.
Exactly.
Okay, so Professor Tristan, Mr. Locke, and most likely Jackson along the way, you would notice that around this area, there is no claw marks, nothing out of the ordinary. Aside from the temple bar door being blown inwards, which means you already know that the kitchen itself had blown up. Aside from that, the area around the meat cube, as you're calling it, it's quite clean. There's no blood. There's nothing. It's just clean break.
interesting. You'd think that there would be a large amount of blood if someone had suffered this fate here.
Is it possible it was moved here?
So there's no indication of blood or anything around.
No.
Could it be a kindred that got cubed?
No, they'd be gone. They'd turn to ash after this. But all right. Is there any way, I'll contact Vera, is there any way we can get the power in the casino back on?
That would be quite risky considering the fact that we don't know what kind of electrical problems there would be after an explosion like this.
That's true.
We should definitely shut the gas off as well, actually.
Things already been shut off. Electricity, we're still waiting for the electricians to come here because we don't want to mess around with any possible live wires around.
It's also possible that this is like post-event, that whatever's happened here is already escaped. But we'll leave that for the time being. So maybe at some point, Yue, and Tanya can investigate the cube and see, like, because it's strange, like the fact that there's no blood. And with gloves on, Tristan will walk over and kind of scrunch his nose up and push the cube. Is it heavy?
He's heavy.
Is it not? Would it take a overly powerful individual to move it, or is it
No, it's quite a thin man, so just a person could
move it?
move it.
Alright, but there's no blood anywhere, so even if it was moved, you'd think like if we
Yeah, there'd be a trail.
of blood somewhere. Is there any blood? Like if we go up and like I just get like a pen or something and put it on the body. Is there any blood on there?
No.
So it could have been drained before
Yeah.
it got cubed.
Yeah, potentially. All right, we'll put this as a point A and note this. Let's canvass the rest of the area and we'll probably continue deeper. Maybe even also there was a freezer and a morgue downstairs. I think maybe we should consider looking into that as well, if there was, because that last time that's where the kindred with actually was encountered. So let's go have a look at that.
All right. While that is happening, we move back to Tanya and Dr. Yue, not noticing anything strange with their investigation roles, aside from the fact that there is one hallway leading to the side entrance exit. Seems to be an employee's entrance exit of the event area. There is a concentration of dead bodies here.
So
it's-
this is near the employee's entrance?
Yep. It's all the way on the right side.
Does it look like these people were running away from something?
Seems that they were running away from the events area towards the exit door. However, they seem to have been crushed into the wall.
Ooh, can I do a medicine check, please, to see how they died?
Yeah, of course. Intelligence medicine.
Can ask to maybe drop
Is there
in.
like a help action? I don't know in this system if there's like actively a
Do you
help
have any
action.
medicine dot?
I have one. One dot in medicine.
Actually,
I could science.
You can give one dice to. So I'll just add one dice.
One
here.
eight.
Merry Christmas.
Tanya and Lindsay like they dead.
They
They
dead.
real dead. Real.
They dead for real.
For real.
So that's 7 successes and it's a critical.
Oh, they did for real.
Alright. With those amount of successes, you would know that it's as if they've been crushed by an oncoming truck. Something passed through this area that just crushed them into the wall.
So these people didn't die from the explosion.
No, they did not die from the explosion. They died by being crushed. Specifically as if a tiny object had just pushed down their chest and any of their frontal area and crushed them.
So-
Because most of their rib cages and their shoulders, anything that is around the shoulder to torso area has been crushed.
So
None-
the way that these people are arranged, does it look like that it was the one strike that killed all of them, or did multiple strikes kill multiple people?
From your successes, I would say it seems like a truck just passed by here and then just crushed everyone into a wall.
So one be like something
One
stampeded
big
through.
strike.
Like it's just one unmovable force that just passed through this
Bowling
area.
ball.
Yeah.
named Pins.
Yeah, it would. And I say this.
Their wounds are not like uniform. It's
Yeah.
quite different for each and every one, depending on how it seems like how they are looking towards this
Yeah.
exit area.
Yeah, and I say in the group comms, it would appear that a massive force crushed these people. They did not die from the explosion.
How many people is there in this hallway?
There would be. Where is that?
There's a lot of dead
14.
people.
Oh, 14.
It's the population of Alice Springs.
Yeah, how many people were at the casino? Okay.
This is actually the secret plan. Like, ain't
So
no
this is
vampires that no one to
14
feed
on
on.
top of the 40 that were found dead in the event.
No, it's including there.
Oh, wait. Sorry.
Inclusive.
Inclusive of that.
Yep, so it's out of the 27, 14 are.
Well, no, because there was 27 in the event hall, 13 in the bar.
So
So this
within
is part of that 13.
part of the 27 in the event hall. You currently are in the event hall. You are
Okay.
temp-
All right. I understand.
You said that across the radio, didn't you?
Yeah.
Cool. Is there any blood? Have they been exsanguinated, or is there?
There's blood everywhere.
Okay.
So it's like mosquitoes been crushed onto the wall.
Yeah.
All right. Well, shall we keep moving? There's no one here we can save. Like, we should just
Yeah.
keep moving.
Can you check before you move on? Like, it says that their bodies have been crushed by some external force. Can you check for me with the bodies if their wounds are protruding or internal? Does it look like the force pushed inwards, or did their rib cages burst out and something from within killed them?
It was
Crushed in.
crushed in,
Crushed
wasn't
in.
it?
Crushed in?
Oh, with your successes as well, Dr. Yue, you would notice that there is one body, actually two bodies that have been drained completely with blood.
And there's 2 drained.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you able to discern from the force, like, were they all facing the same? Have they all been pushed in the same direction? And was there a certain direction that force emerged from?
Which way was the force pushing?
It seems to be coming from. Well, it's kind of hard to explain it considering the fact that they're all crushed into the wall.
Is it like it's going out the exit?
From, because all the people are heading towards the exit, and it seems during that whole period of time they've been crushed into a wall.
So, like, they
So-
were going for the exit and something has come through them going towards the exit.
That's what it seems like.
Okay.
It could be from behind or from going into the casino.
You
UA,
can't tell
Yeah.
from the wounds.
what size were the blows?
It is from neck to like the torso sized.
Right.
So it was not a fist.
Okay.
What about
Could be a fist.
Oh, could be a large fist.
Could be a fist.
that's hit the
Could be a-
moving
Alright.
to the next
Could be a-
stream?
Yeah, Tanya's going to head towards the exit.
Can you
Yeah.
check just the drained bodies as well? Can you see any discernible bite marks
Yeah, like
amid the wounds, or are they covered?
The ones without the blood, some of their necks has been torn open. Some of them has just been completely eviscerated rather.
yeah. So what do we think? Are we?
Passing that on?
Yep. I'm passing that out.
No, it's a secret.
Yeah, and
Yeah. All right.
Tanya's going.
Yeah.
Looks like we've got some escaping b-boys.
I follow Tanya.
Alright, exiting.
Yeah.
And you do open the exit of this employee's entrance door quite easily. The locks have been like disabled, and it just leads towards the parking lot.
Is there any sign that anything came out this way? Like, if they're covered in blood, is it drip blood everywhere, or is it looking like it was going inwards?
There are droplets of blood on the floor. However, with one success, you don't know if it's like came from anybody really.
Is there like a trail? Can I follow it? To like, if there's a trail of blood, can I follow that trail of blood?
Seems that there's just random droplets with your one success of investigation.
Yue, come
Yeah.
look at this.
It's just a droplet of blood.
It's just one droplet of blood. Do I see any tire marks or any indication that someone could have headed in a certain direction?
No. Not with one success.
You didn't even
I
see the
had one
door.
success, but you had a
I also
critical
had one
success. Oh, you had one success as well? Oh, God, we both suck at this. We really should have split the team up differently.
Both like lean forward, like dunk. I'm sorry.
Oh, there's nothing here.
Is there anything like within visual range that I can see someone like legging it off into the distance? Like,
You see Smith give you the finger. Damn it, Smith.
Well, in that case, I'd like to kind of just backtrack one step into the corridor and see if the force was caused by an occult occurrence or something physical. Because I'm thinking it could just be a very physically strong kindred that had a dot symbol.
Ghost sight will not allow you to see that.
I would like to do an intelligence and occult check, if I can.
Because it's all gonna be theory crafting at this point. You haven't had enough evidence to actually. It's a fishing expedition essentially.
Yeah.
I do like where your head's at there.
It's nighttime right now, yeah?
I hope so.
Well, yes, a lot of
It is
Well,
nighttime.
I'm just like double checking because
No,
I want to know if
absolutely.
like I don't want to be like looking around seeing if I can find something. If there's like
Valid.
the kindred would be like a lit flame in the distance as it tries to leg it.
Oh look, Burning Man.
Just be like, okay, let me help.
No, it is currently 2 a.m. at this point.
Okay. Well, there's nothing
Would awareness do anything? Would insight do anything?
I think you got to stop barking
Yeah.
up that tree.
Yeah.
All right, then let's head
okay.
back inside and go and look somewhere else.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Maybe interview the
The dead bodies.
the living
The,
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 injured.
the evacuated
Yeah,
people.
the evacuated people. I mean, can you interview a dead body? I don't.
No,
you can do that.
unfortunately.
Oh.
If their spirit has moved on, there's no way for me to.
You do pass an empty storage unit on the right side as you're heading back towards the middle area of the casino.
Is it open?
Yeah, it's open. There's no door.
Is it technically open if there is no door?
I mean,
What's the
yes.
sound one? Hang on. Can I radio into Vera and ask if there's been signs of anybody leaving out this back exit?
I'm still going through the footage. However, there is quite an interesting turn of events here.
Interesting how.
That is a concerning phrase of word based on what's happening.
I would suggest that you have a look at this.
Sure. The professor and I will
Maybe
be
some of you might be able to recognize
on our
some
way.
of these people.
Why don't Tanya and you go have a look? And if you don't recognize, we'll come up. Because we've just gone into the casino to double back.
Yeah,
again.
we're not
Yeah.
doing anything, so let us
Yeah.
go look. Yeah,
We'll check on the way out.
we'll be there in a minute, and we're gonna book it to wherever Vera is, I guess.
Vera's in the first floor security room. Nearby where the morgue is actually.
Oh. Getting flashbacks. We go find Vera.
Yeah, we go find Vera, have a look at what she wants us to look at.
Alright. While our dear Dr. Yu and dear Tanya go and find Vera in the security room, we head back to Professor Tristan and Mr. Locke and Jackson.
And Jackson.
And Jackson.
Jackson.
I'm sorry, Jackson.
Jackson.
Last time we were here, they led us to the morgue and attempted to try and lock us in there. There were some bodies in the morgue, if I can recall correctly, as well.
They
so,
were.
If the power is out, maybe be prepared for a bit of a ripe smell. But
Oh, they'll stay cool for a while. It's nighttime.
I hope so. We head down to the morgue.
Passing the security area on your way, the morgue is open.
Is there any... Should we just do a cursory glance, look around? There's anything of...
Yeah, clear the room.
Make sure there's no one in there pretending to be dead.
Sure.
In the, gun. Is the lights on in there?
No.
No, yeah. Gun, flashlight, clearing the room.
Clearing the room, it is quite empty. Seems that the freezer, the thing that keeps this whole thing at the freezing temperature, had gone out because of the electricity as well. There is no dead bodies at the moment in the morgue.
Is there like a list out the front indicating what... I guess inventory is the wrong word, but what remains are in there?
There is a chart right next to the door inside. Seems that there's supposed to be 3 dead bodies in here.
There's supposed to be, but there's not anymore?
No.
Does it have the names or identification of the 3 dead bodies?
No. It's just a number, it's kind of inventory in a way. But the sheet that usually has the names is gone.
Is there anywhere that we could look, like a secondary backup or a digital copy?
No.
3 bodies missing. So potentially either that may have been how, if it's a blank body, it gained access in here and then waited until closing. Or it also potentially could be that's what they were here for as well, and that's the distraction. But we'll need to investigate further with someone from the casino. But I think it's looking more and more likely that whatever was here has escaped already and have achieved what they wanted to. But, we'll see. That's looking more likely. Jackson's not getting his. He's just sitting there shaking, is he?
Yeah, he's actually stiff right now.
Trust. All right. Well, that's not too bad then. We could probably start to approach it more from a research point of view than something's going to attempt to jump scare us and we're going to have to fight, which is excellent. We don't want to lose anyone else anymore. All right. Well, we passed the security room just around the corner. We can go meet up with Tanya and Yue.
Yeah.
Reconvene.
At this point, you actually see Tanya and Dr. Yue approaching the security room as you exit the morgue.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
It seems the group had reconvened.
Beautiful. Well, we don't need to inform each other on what we did. We've done that already.
So, as the four of you enter the security room, it's a tiny space. It's quite a snug fit as all of you pile in. Vera is sitting behind what seems to be panels of monitors. And there's one main monitor that she is staring at as she points towards it. Yeah, so I think I know what caused the explosion. And she rewinds it. And it is a top-down, at least video feed into the kitchen. Maybe underneath the employee's entrance of Tempo towards the kitchen. You see the top head of a young Asian lady walk in. Immediately, Mr. Locke and Professor Tristan, you recognize this person. Mr. Locke, you recognize Aaron running into the kitchen. Professor Tristan, you recognize somebody who looks like that person 9. Run into the kitchen. But for everybody else, for Dr. Yue and Tanya, this is a young Asian lady, maybe mid-20s. Wavy hair, currently wearing something thick like a puffer jacket because of the cold. Wearing really simple clothes, black pants and sneakers. She runs into the kitchen and starts to open up all the gas in this place.
Rookies. Do either of these two react when they recognize?
Yeah, Mr. Locke freezes and just
You good, Locke?
takes a second to sort of watch what's happening on the screen.
Tanya's gonna sort of watch Locke, just like, you good?
I know who this is.
You
Yeah?
know the possible arsonist?
When we see this individual walk in, how are their movements? Are they do they go straight from just like mechanically gas to gas, or are they walking around and looking around? Are they taking their time?
It's just gas to gas.
Are their movements stilted anyway, or like are they?
No, it seems that they are quite hurried. Like running from here, opening, just running down the lines of stoves, the ovens, everything. But you can see her looking towards the left side this whole time. And as Vera starts to fast forward a little bit, just to fast forward what's happening a tiny bit, the left side of the screen of this monitor just starts glitching.
Ooh, possible La Sombra sighting.
Maybe.
Most likely. Do you have any earlier footage of this individual?
Yeah, let's see. And she starts to go down like the footage. You see all the other monitors around this place going backwards. But she does highlight one of it and puts it into the main monitor that you guys are looking in. And it seems like the start of the whole thing where Erin walks in, seems to be with a group. She seems to be with a sleepy looking another South Asian guy, similar age group, and another individual, which Vera stops and went, "What the?" There is a young African American male in the group with them, and she's just like, "What the fuck?"
Do you know who that is?
That's my brother,
What's your brother's name?
Miles.
Is he here amongst the evacuated or here?
I
amongst
did
the
not
injured?
even know that he is outside.
Okay.
He's supposed to be house.
Under house arrest?
House sitting.
House sitting in America.
Do you want to?
No, here.
Here.
My family moved here when we were being relocated here. So
And who's the person that you know, Locke?
Their name is Erin. They live here in Alice Springs.
the lady's name's Erin. Yeah.
Yes.
So Aaron and Miles. Do we know who the other gentleman is? Do you recognize anyone?
No one. Just no one outside those two now. We don't. There's no one else amongst. How big's the group? Is it a group of just 3 or?
Seems to be just 3 for now. But as they walk forward, another group joins them. Seems to be another young lady, Caucasian, blonde hair, wearing completely white outfit. As she enters, completely stunning. She says hello to Erin. They talk and they walk, followed by who seems to be an American male, Caucasian as well, dark brown hair.
Do we
Do
recognize
I
either of them?
No.
Is this the first image of the first piece of footage of Erin entering
Yes.
the premises? How soon after does Erin go from here to the kitchen?
Well, they seem to went to Temple Bar for a second, then she switches to Temple Bar, where seems the group is currently drinking around.
Does anyone interact with Erin, like directly outside of this group?
No.
Are any of these people part of the deceased?
No.
Are any of these people not drinking?
Yes. The Caucasian male in the group is not drinking
At all?
at all. Everyone else had ordered drinks.
Is this person buying drinks for people or just tagging along?
Just tagging along, seems to be.
So
And then as the video progresses, you do notice an individual who was not part of the group originally, entering seems to be a young lady, Caucasian as well, with blonde hair, currently up in a bun, like a messy bun, in a full rave outfit. It's extremely cold, and she is currently huddled in her white puff jacket as she approaches the group and says hi to everyone, giving hugs to the girls. And then afterwards, the 2 blondes in the group walks away towards, it seems to be, out of the Temple Bar.
Are any of them Delilah Jones?
Yes.
Which one? The bun?
the very,
No.
The very
the
first,
very
first
first
one.
one.
in the white outfit.
Yeah.
Do you recognize her, Yue?
It would appear that we are. The one thing we have in common tonight is finding friends among these people.
So the theory, obviously, is we can see if we go back to when the American and the blonde woman first spoke to Erin. It's like that's some sort of kindred influence there instructing Erin. That's why I was asking about Erin's movements. And they're like, it's not by her own volition that Erin's gone and done this. And it's very likely.
At some point, Vera starts speaking up. It seems that the American and Aaron's been left alone in the table.
Is it the same American individual from the start? Like that's the
Yes.
reason? Oh, then let's watch that.
And it seems to there is no audio in this footage, which is annoying Vera quite a lot. But they do talk for just a little bit before the American leaves Erin alone, and at some point Erin is alone, just drinking, probably on her phone. And then the door opens to the temple bar, and it seems that she was startled by somebody there, and then she starts to run.
Do we see who opened the door and who's standing there?
No, it is
there any other
currently a
footage?
blind spot.
Okay. So let's get a list of everyone in this. I'll say this to Vera, everyone in this footage as well. We need to make sure who's accounted for.
What doorway is that she saw something in?
The door towards the casino.
Can we bring up the casino footage and see who's moving through that area at that time?
Yeah. During the time, as Vera pulls up the image, you see at that time that the panic of the whole human cube has started.
Do we see where the cube came from? Like if there's footage in the casino, can we see how it arrived?
There is a camera that is at least pointed towards that area. However, it's just completely corrupted.
Is there anyone that's moving from the casino towards the temple bar that we recognize in that stampeding footage?
There is one of them is what seems to be you cannot see his face, but you can assume it's male because of the build. They're wearing a gray hoodie. However, you cannot see their face.
So a dude in a hoodie spooked her.
As this continues on,
And as the hoodie man walks towards temple bar, you see the American and another blonde guy stunning as well, walking towards temple bar following the hooded guy.
Do I recognize the stunning blonde guy?
Yes, you know exactly who this is, Professor Tristan. You recognize them from, is it a previous life?
Prior engagement.
Prior engagement. You recognize Maxi Seraph.
as this continues on and everyone's watching the footage, Mr. Locke starts to become slightly visibly concerned or not quite panicked. And before they turn to Agent Walker and they question whether, did this woman, Erin, is there any footage of her getting out? Is there any footage after the explosion?
She's not amongst the dead.
Let's see.
She's not amongst the dead.
Just because she's not amongst the dead doesn't mean she's wounded somewhere.
Yeah, but she's not dead, so
Yeah.
that's a start.
She does fast forward some of the footage. It completely cut off as the explosion happened, but she does change or look through all the footage of all angles that is pointing towards this area, and she does find a footage which is it's near the events area. It's pointing towards the entrance, and you can see at least this one is the employee side of the building, and you can see Erin light up a lighter and then just throw it into the room. And then as the explosion rocks the area, she does a roll, which quite impressed Walker because it's a practice roll. It's not just a civilian running or tumbling for their life. It is a practice roll. She rolls to her feet and starts running. Wow, that's quite practiced.
Does your friend have combat experience?
No.
You sure? Because that's... Wow.
Well,
Are we certain that's your friend?
Unless it's someone wearing their face.
That's possible.
And let's see. Walker fast forwards through a lot of the other places, following Erin. We do see a footage of Erin running down the corridor. It's still empty of people at this point in time, as shock is currently setting in through the people because an explosion just happened. And it seems that she is trying to open the door outside to go outside that side entrance of employees exit, and it's locked. And it seems that she's yelling to somebody behind the door before she starts to run back. And then there was a glitch right as she passed the open storage area, and then she's gone.
There's a glitch as she passed the area.
So that's outside?
No, that's inside.
So there's a
That's
storage
the
area
storage
inside.
that you guys walked
Yeah.
past.
Right, okay.
Does the glitch look like it's because of her proximity to... Like, is it a glitch as in like she's veered close to something and then it's glitched? Or can we just see her run and then just the other camera's glitched before she's gone?
Yeah, so it's the way it's shown on the camera is that she's running, and as she run towards like past this open door that's just completely dark, it seems like her whole figure like it glitches. It's as if the camera itself lost her, and then it skips a beat, and then she's gone.
Okay. All right. There's obviously quite a lot here we need to look at, but from what I can that accounts for where Erin is
Possibly.
for now.
Mr. Locke is sorry guys. Mr. Locke is quite like in the way that people act when they're quite panicked but are keeping it together. Mr. Locke is going to stand and run out of the room to go to that storage room to see if Erin is still there or not. In case
I'll follow.
Sounds good.
Tanya's going to just follow Locke.
Yeah.
I don't think I could catch Locke.
Nothing can catch.
speed roll.
Mr. Locke, as you enter the storage unit, is quite dark. There is no lights in here. It is empty aside from stacks of chairs.
Like fully empty, nothing.
Fully empty.
Okay. There's no like other entrance or exit to the room. No ventilation shafts. Nothing.
No ventilation, no entrance, no exit, no windows, nothing. It's just a room that's purely for storage.
Right.
Not even a socket, nothing.
Right. Mr. Locke just
I think
kind of looks around.
Tanya's
somewhat defeated.
catching up is going to be like, hey,
I need to get to somewhere with cell service. I need to
there's,
get in contact with Erin.
yeah,
If they're okay.
yeah,
See if this was them or not.
yeah, cell service is being suppressed here. We've got more we need to do first. There may be more information, like, I get that. We need you. We're not done yet. Can you come back?
If I find out where Erin is, Erin could help us
Yep.
get information. I need to go and find them. I need to find out if they're okay.
Yep. I will help you. I will fucking burn this place down. I will help you find her if you need help to find her, but we need to do this right. We need to make sure there's nothing else here that needs to be done before you can go look for Erin. Will you come back with me?
All right, but we need to do it fast.
Yep. Let's go.
All right. And Mr. Locke puts on a brave face and walks back.
As you walk out, Mr. Locke, you do notice a glint at the corner of the room. It is quite not in the corner, but more in the middle towards the wall. It's on the floor. It is a necklace that is of a forget-me-not flower that Erin usually wears.
Mr. Locke's gonna very gingerly pick it up. As they're walking back, they turn it over and over in their fingers before sliding it in their pocket before getting back to the security room.
Yeah.
We'll find her.
While they're at the security, I guess while that's happening, Tristan will ask Vera to follow the movements of the American individual, the blonde woman, and the stunning blonde Maxie. Too many blondes.
Alright. Okay, let's put a name to this. You said you know some of these people.
Yes.
So the Asian one is Erin. We got my stupid brother Miles.
The blonde individual there goes by Seraph.
Seraph? Wow. I'm assuming that they're blank because of how stunning. Yep.
And Delilah Jones, the first blonde woman in the white dress.
Okay, Delilah Jones.
I don't think we have a name for the American individual, but if he's traveling with them, it's probably safe to assume that he's a blank as well.
Yeah, part of their little group.
Let's just call him now Subject 2, I guess. We have Delilah
Subject 2.
and Seraph. If we ideally can track how they arrived at, or find footage of how they arrived to the casino, if they travel, we can get a number plate or something like that, and then how they left as well, if they left the same way.
All right.
And if there's anyone else they interacted with as well.
Do you know
There's-
who the Raver chick was?
Who?
The chick in the Raver outfit?
Oh, was the Raver chick 9? No, the person in the Rave outfit wasn't 9, was
No.
it? No, I don't know.
Who was
that is.
9?
9 was was
9 is Aaron.
9 is
Okay.
Aaron.
Okay. Do you say that? Or
No.
is that character to me?
Well, I don't, because I don't actually know it was 9. It just looks like 9.
Okay.
But there's a lot of people that look like 9 nowadays.
Okay.
And they're all terrible and terrifying. I'm not going to dub that person as 9 until I'm certain it's 9. I don't want to give anyone half theories.
Yeah. Okay, aside from that, let's see. So there's no cameras in the car parking lot, so we can't really find their vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
There is this questionable footage though. It's the same hallway. Hopefully, I don't know, maybe some of it survive. I'll have to ask one of the techs to actually go through it, see if they can recover some of them.
Mm-hmm.
But there is in the hallway area, which might explain that all the dead bodies. She fast forwards the footage and she pulls it up and shows you. I'll slow it down. She slows it down. Here, look at this. She presses play, and it seems like it's the same glitchiness that Erin had before she disappeared, but it seems to be what seems to be a male figure, but you can't really see any distinguishing features aside from they're wearing black.
It's like a
And-
blur sort of thing.
It's kind of like when you have a corrupted video file. That some of the people are still talking, yet the camera
Corruption's
corruption's there. And then sometimes they turn to the left, but they're saying that I'm turning to the left and saying like all these things, but the actual footage or video itself's not moving before it glitches, and then it is back to like catching up to the audio kind of deal.
Does it look like a La Sombra footage interference?
Yeah.
It could just be in La Sombra and what they tend to do with video.
It's definitely a La Sombra.
All right. Do we have any more footage of like the exits? Can we see what direction they left in? So
But
we
is
can...
that Brad Pitt?
Sorry?
Is that Brad Pitt?
We won't be able to tell.
Yeah.
During the time that Maxie, Delilah, Subject 2 were at the bar, does it look like there was someone
I thought the
serving them?
Seraph, so Maxie Seraph?
Oh, sorry, Seraph. Yes, Maxie Seraph.
Maxie Seraph. Thing.
Was there anyone interacting with them?
No, they're just
Was someone serving them drinks? Like, was there someone serving them?
no. They've taken their drinks from the bar.
Okay. And where they sat down, was there anyone sitting near them at all?
It's a packed bar,
Mm-hmm.
so a lot of actually like group of Asians seems to be out and about. Group of Americans, group of Australians just littered around the temple bar. This is a maximum of 25 people
Yep.
in the room. So
All right. So we need to make sure. No, that looks back as well. But like, we've done all we can here, I think. To Vera, can you please get me from your team a list of accounting of all the individuals who are in that bar as well, but minus obviously this group that we've accounted for. How many are dead, how many are injured, and if not, I'd like to have a conversation with some of them. Other than that, I think we've probably done all that we can here. Unless there's anything further you'd like from us.
No. If you'd like to reconvene over at the Ark.
Yep. I think that'd be excellent. We can just compare details.
Before we go, do we have surveillance on who or how the man got cubed?
We already went through that footage. It's corrupted.
Okay.
Is there any identification on the individual who suffered that?
No.
And there's no more footage of the exits of those people of interest leaving.
No. There's no actual camera outside over at the parking lots, so you can't really see.
If possible, when returning the cubed remains, it could be potentially maybe an autopsy to be performed.
Are you wanting to talk to the evacuated civilians, or are we getting out of here?
I think we can. Did they? I thought they all got carted to the hospital. Is there still civilians outside?
The wounded are carted over at the hospitals. The civilians are still outside. We haven't released any of them back out.
Maybe we should go have a word, see if we can just temporarily see if any of those outside match up with the footage of the people in the bar.
Yeah.
One thing you would know, at least Dr. Yue would know, that the people who are dead in the bar, or the bodies you've seen, maybe you can double check the numbers, but it matches the amount of people on the screen.
The number of dead.
The number of dead people we found in the bar matches the number of non-suspicious
There was-
individuals.
Yeah.
So anyone we could have talked to gain information, like any eyewitnesses, are dead.
Okay, that's fair. Maybe we'll have a brief conversation with the evacuated. Like, we have 2 individuals amongst that crowd who are of above average physical attractiveness, I guess. So surely someone outside's paid attention to them walking by. And then after that, maybe we can then...
Locke and I might head. There's some stuff we need to check out. If you guys want to talk to the civilians, do you want to go now?
Yes.
Okay, Locke and I have got some stuff we need to chase. If you guys want to talk to the civilians, we're going to just go do that. We might have a lead.
Sure. Just, I guess maybe
We'll report
we'll
in.
contact you
Yep.
once we're back in
We'll
cell
stay in
service.
radio contact.
We can probably put, maybe once we'll put cell service back once the remains have been moved.
How are we gonna cover this up?
I don't know
I
yet.
do not have...
Gas explosion. There was a mistake in the kitchen. Gas explosion.
The
Gas leak.
Human cube live stream has already been taken down, but so many people have seen it.
I mean, there's not much we can... I feel like the more we try to cover it up in terms of, say, discuss it, the more energy it's going to give it. Just let it
Crazy
remain a
what they can do
conspiracy
with
theory.
After Effects these days.
Yeah, conspiracy theory. Let's just keep taking down as many of Coma's videos as possible. Eventually, they'll probably drift. Actually, even maybe IP address.
Yeah, it's possible to track where Coma came from or who Coma is, and we can
Yeah.
go speak to them.
That'd be interesting. Who Coma actually is.
What's that live stream is from the Coma channel.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know who runs it?
No, that's what we're trying to find out. Maybe if we can do an IP trace on
Yeah.
find the address.
Maybe we can reconvene after.
Yeah, maybe that's if we'll go speak to some of the people outside. You two go do what you need to do, and we'll meet you back at the Ark, and we can discuss.
All right. I mean, sun's coming up soon as well.
How long do we have till sunrise?
It's currently 4 a.m. at this point.
What time's the sunrise? Like
Sunrise
6?
is 5:30.
All right, and how long's the drive to the Ark?
20 minutes.
Okay,
We've got an hour.
we've got time. We can go quickly, briefly, speak to them.
Let's go.
All right. I'll continue just copying some of the footage here.
Yeah, excellent.
Thank you, Vera.
All right, cool.
Jackson, it might be beneficial if you stay with Vera, just and then meet us back at the Ark.
Yes, sir.
And Jackson's on our personal channel, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yep, cool. Cool, we'll go. Once we're out of the security room, I'll just say to Jackson on the private channel, like if anyone encounters anything that they're unable to discuss or they need assistance, I guess like the channel's got the ability to make a noise, just indicate we'll be there. I still don't fully know if I trust Vera. Do I know of a Vera in the society? Have I heard of Vera Walker in the Society of Leopold before?
Only rumors. She's part of, at least in some of the incursions of Davis, she has been there. Barely survived one of those rogue werewolf attacks that almost took away the use of her legs, but she managed to recover.
Cool. It's also probably the safest place for you, Jackson.
Yes, sir.
Beautiful.
I think
Cool. Yeah.
we're going to take the car. I think just where do you want to go to do this?
Take the car, the only car. Take
Yeah, legitimately, yeah.
Car, take any car.
any car?
No, we're taking our car. Like,
So you're taking Aline with you?
no, we can boot her out. We're like, oh yeah, the professor needs you.
No.
Yeah. So gonna take the car as soon.
With Aline?
I'd rather Aline stay with you. I mean,
yeah,
you don't have to tell her
Eileen
anything, but-
Eileen's still in the car.
Yeah.
As soon as they're far enough away from, how far away from the casino do they have to get for cell service to come back?
About, I'd say, 2 kilometers.
Yeah. So basically, of course, they're heading towards Erin's house, but as soon as they're outside of, to get cell back,
Cell service,
Mr. Locke's gonna try and call her.
It rings and rings. And then there's a click.
As in, someone's answered it.
Somebody's answered it.
Erin, are you okay?
Click. Somebody hangs up. Is everything alright?
Just a person of interest that we are going to investigate that was involved in the explosion, and we are
Foot to floor, let's go.
going to question them.
Would you like me to track them?
To track.
Their phone service.
Certainly. Yeah. All right.
Yeah?
If you
Who's
can.
driving right now? Which one of us is driving?
Mr. Locke is driving.
Mr. Lost driving while
You are
calling.
driving and calling? That's unsafe.
You are an officer of the
You're
law.
officer of the law.
No, that's all right.
Look, it's a very important
Driving
focus.
Yeah.
That's what they all
Hey
say.
computer, call contact Erin.
Driving towards the
Bluetooth.
gap where Erin's house is.
Yep.
You do arrive soon enough, 15 minutes and you're there. The house itself is quite dark.
Yep. Yeah.
Are we, what are we doing? Are we,
Locke is gonna very quickly get out of the car, start to walk towards the house, and then sort of stop.
do you want me to go around the back? Like, what do you want me to do?
Looking at the house. It's a position that they've been in a number of times before. But any time beforehand, they haven't gone in. Could you, check the house.
Yeah. Do you want to go through front door? I'll take the back door. I'll meet you in the middle.
Sure,
You got this?
I've got this.
You got this. Let's go.
Yeah.
And Tanya's going to circle around the back to come through the back door.
And Mr. Locke will take a deep breath, center themselves, eye on the mission, and head to the front door.
Alright. So back door is locked.
Can I break it down or blow it up or...
Boom, clap.
Look, a small amount of explosives will affect a lock. I'm just saying, we'll replace the door. It's fine.
I'm not there. I
A
can't
small
tell
amount
you.
of
You can go
explosives will affect a lock.
right. This lock right here.
So do you want to break it down?
Yeah.
What do you want to do? How do you want to do this?
Well, I don't know if I have the physical strength. I think it's probably going to be safer, actually, honestly, for me to use a very small amount of controlled explosive to just affect the lock.
All right.
It's what I'm good at. I'm
I
not
have faith
I'm
in-
not a strength person. This is what I do.
I'd say composure larceny for that. Or craft for a small amount of explosive.
Composure and okay, yep.
Mr. Locke, you know that Erin keeps her keys in one of the potted plants, and it is there when you raise it up.
Cool. And then, yeah, with that, I'll go
Wait,
and
wait.
unlock the door.
Yeah, 3.
3 successes, you do. Mr. Locke, you hear quite a loud pop from the back door. And Tanya, you are in.
I'm on the radio. If you want to radio me, like,
Was that you?
yep, that was me. I'm entering now.
First thing Mr. Locke you would know from the entrance is that as you walk in, it's quite a spacious room, but you can see right through there to the laundry area at the back, which Tanya is currently in. You're standing at the laundry room. Everything is neat and organized. Everything's in its place. Extremely clean. You would know that as you enter, this is the living room. You see the TV and consoles and everything is set up there. Kitchen area over here at the front, and then second floor. A stair going to the second floor. Nothing's out of place. It seems that Aaron's just gone out for a party outside. There's still some dishes in the dishwasher if you open it. Seems that she's had dinner before she left.
Yep. Yeah, Mr. Locke's going to go through clearing the rooms and then, yeah, methodically make their way upstairs.
Yep.
Tanya will follow.
Tanya, you would notice that there are pictures all over the walls of this lady named Erin with the same people, the one named Miles and the other Southeast Asian guy that you have seen. There is also a picture of what seems to be Mr. Locke and Erin just out. Mr. Locke's not in uniform, it's just them outside. It's quite a cute picture with the sunset behind them as well.
I think Tanya's going to sort of pause at that photo and be like, when was this?
A while ago.
It's nice.
Thanks.
Upstairs is a different story. The bedroom itself has been turned upside down. Clothes everywhere. And it seems somebody has ransacked this whole area.
So, yeah, having a look through the room, so it's like drawers, clothes. Is there any sort of like study or computer area that's also been ransacked?
Yeah, the other bedroom that's been converted into the office area, all the books, everything's been ripped open. It's as if they're trying to look for something.
There's no like blood or anything.
There's no blood.
Is there anything obviously missing? Do you know that?
Well, I don't think Mr. Locke would tell. Mr. Locke's never been in this office before.
Is there anything like obviously missing from like a space on a shelf or on a wall or anything like that?
Doesn't seem to be. It's as if somebody just had a meltdown in this room. The TV is there, all the precious items are there, jewelry still on the dresser. The usual things that thieves would try to steal is not taken.
Is there anything that looks out of place?
Well, everything's out of
Well, like no, but like that doesn't belong in this room.
No.
We should get back. She's not here. We'll track the phone call. This is better than if she was here, though.
And Mr. Locke thinks about it, like still scanning the room, just trying to quite find anything that might have meaning or, might give an answer to what's going on in the way that people do when they've lost something really important.
We have to get back. I need you to keep it together just a bit longer, okay? I can't do this by myself.
She takes a second. All right. We'll trace the phone and find out where she is and get her back.
We'll get it back. We have to get back. We need to get UA before the sun comes up.
All right, let's go. Sort of spurred on by the memory that, yes, they do have to indeed look out for UA, so.
Yep.
I can't drive a stick.
Y'all took the car. Sun's gonna be up soon. Yep.
Well, you also had all of the Society of Leopold there, so just take one of theirs.
We're only 15 minutes
We
away,
can't. It's
so
a van. We can't drive vans. Don't ask why.
Meanwhile, back at the casino, Dr. Yue and Professor Tristan, you wanted to interview some people.
Yeah.
Is anyone amongst the civilians I know we're working with the theory that everyone who is in the bar is dead, but is it like just doing a cursory glance of is everyone that we can see out there that's survived? There is no one who matches up with anyone that was in the bar?
No.
That's fine. All right. Are these people? None of these people are injured. These are the people who are
All the injured people have been transported to
Taken
the
away?
hospital.
cool. So these are the people who are far enough away from the blast or the cubing. So, is there any specific? I'm happy to have a discussion with them. Is there any specific questions you want to cover with them?
I was more going to put my medical skills at use if some of them seem too panicked or too frightened to give a coherent response. But I don't have anyone specific in mind that I want to speak to.
No worries. Who's watching over them? Like, are they just all standing in a crowd as?
They're currently split up into groups. They don't seem to notice that they're split up into groups. However, you can notice the pattern, which the at least agents in uniform are trying to interview them.
No worries. So whoever's leading, like the senior agent there, just let them know. So
Was any of them in the car park at the time that the presumed kindred would have made their escape?
We don't know. There's a huge amount of people. You'll have to go through them one by one.
We'd like to know from each. I want a discussion each of them, and I'm aware it's a strange question. We're looking for 2 blonde individuals. I'll give a description of Maxie and Delilah, and also subject to the American. They're related in regards to tonight. We are offering a cash reward if the information they provide leads to us, we'll say arresting these individuals. Anyone who has information on where they went or saw them, like surely someone's seen these 2. The American, I can understand him blending in, but the other 2, bright blonde in Alice Springs.
Pure white.
Gorgeous, as they say.
Surely someone's noticed them walk by, even in the general direction.
Roll a 1d10 for me.
Oh god, how many of them are dead? 9.
I'd say 9 people approaches you with information. However, most are useless.
That's fine.
They would say, "Oh yeah, they were in the bar."
Yeah.
They'd say that, "Oh, they were dancing in the floor." However, none of them saw, because at the point in time, I don't know, the whole explosion kind of took away their attention away from these people.
Yeah.
However, 9 people does ask for rewards.
That's cash
Cash?
if it leads to their arrest.
No, but they start arguing with you. Information's reward, right?
No.
Come on, mate. Just $50.
No.
10,
Do you
and then
know
they start
anyone-
yelling.
Do you know anyone who's in the car park region when the explosion happened?
$100.
Do you know?
$100 for information, lady, and the other 8 people starts, agreeing. Yeah, we're not giving any more information. You're not giving us money.
Yeah, no. Tristan.
I would like to. The one that's leading this little exchange, I would like to take off my gloves and give them a pat on the shoulder and adjust the balance. So I would like them to calm down and return to a more balanced state of mind. To hopefully be less argumentative.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be medicine. I would like to burn up willpower to reroll.
Alright.
Alright, that's more like it. 4 successes.
4 successes, the one who's leading this whole group does calm down. However, you do notice, Professor Tristan, that most of these people look to be shabby, homeless. You can smell unwashed
Yeah.
from all the way there.
If any of this information leads to the arrest, leave your contact details with the officer, and we'll be in contact with you. If
Even $10 for the information.
if it leads to an arrest. I'll give you another opportunity though. Again, cash reward. If any of you see this person, you contact immediately, and if it leads to their arrest, there'll be another cash reward.
You see them actually talking amongst themselves, and the chanting starts. Fuck the police, fucking coppers, useless, not even promising money and then not doing anything. Start yelling it as they walk away.
Mm-hmm. Trust.
Yep, you would like to go approach the person who is in charge of this scene right here and ask if any of these people were in the car park or near the car park when the explosion happened.
He looks quite stressed. Seems to have pulled double night shifts at this point. He looked. Sorry, can you repeat what you just said?
From the information you've gathered, were any of these people in the car park when the explosion happened?
No, most of these people were inside the events area, inside the casino as well.
That is most unfortunate. Well, Professor, what do you make of the situation?
I mean, I think we should probably regroup with Tanya and Locke. We can go walk over to the car park and have a look ourselves.
Yes, and just between you and I, because I was studying overseas for quite some time, what happened to Delilah while I was gone?
Do I know fully what happened? Do I know what occurred with Delilah?
No.
Was it maybe was I?
You don't know anybody with
Yeah,
Delilah
I
Jones.
don't.
No.
I'm not actually familiar with this individual. I'm sorry.
Is Delilah no longer a part of the arc?
You're in Alice Springs. This is Alice Springs. Delilah
Okay.
Jones was never part of Alice Springs arc.
Okay. But I still know them, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Delilah Jones is
like-
part of Sydney. This is a separate entity.
Okay. With my with my knowledge of Delilah Jones, were they human or are they kindred?
Of what?
last I spoke to Delilah Jones.
They're human.
They're human. Okay.
Sorry, I can't help. I'm not familiar with them.
Okay. There's no signal on my cell phone, so I'm just going to, at this point, wait for Locke and Tanya to come back.
Can we pull up at that point?
Yeah, at this point, Tanya and Locke does pull up with the car.
Let's maybe just do a loop past the car park. Just have a look briefly before we head back. If we've got the time, we've still got enough time to just hit the car park before heading back, don't we?
Well, it was like 15 minutes there to errands and then 15 minutes back when we only had an hour and a half. So it would only be,
like
we'd still
4:30
have
or
like
so.
an hour. And I don't think it's
You
20 minutes
only
back
have
to the
like,
Ark.
let's say it's 20 minutes back to the Ark, say 30 minutes.
All right, we can have the agents maybe. I'll just on the radio just have the agents maybe do a quick canvass of the car park, and if there's any security footage potentially.
There wasn't any. There was no footage of the car park. We checked.
If is there like a pay machine at the car park? Does the car park? It's just free
And
parking.
it's a free parking.
Well, it's-
Wow,
it's-
free parking at the casino.
progressive.
Yeah,
right.
it's free parking. It's like free
All right,
Let's head back
yeah,
to
we
the
book it
Ark.
back to the Ark.
Yeah,
Yeah.
get UA some rest.
As we're driving out of the no signal zone, I would like to call Delilah's phone number. Nothing.
No.
I would like to leave them a voicemail.
This service is not anymore connected.
It's not connected. Okay.
How did you two do what you needed to?
We did what we needed to. Unfortunately, it didn't lead to any developments, but we will be getting Erin's phone traced.
Currently tracing it right now. Seems to be out in the desert.
Are there any is Eileen showing us like a
Yeah, it's a
GPS
currently
type map thing?
GPS pinging. Last it pinged, last call was made out in the desert.
How long ago?
Right when you called.
Or how far away from the casino was that?
This is 3 hours away drive.
And
It's heading towards the Queenslands, actually.
towards what? Sorry.
Queensland.
Oh, heading towards Queensland.
I'm happy to sleep in the car.
I don't think we can put you in
Do we
the
have-
boot maybe.
we-
I think the
Well,
sunlight
can
might
we
get in.
can
We
we
need to
cover
regroup.
like if we
I think
cover
we-
you, will you be okay?
Yeah, I'm sure we've got like a tarp or something for this exact situation, just in case we don't make back. That's
Yeah, there'd be a
Yeah,
body
that would
bag. We'd
be-
have a
Yeah.
body bag that we
Yeah.
could put in.
Would it be worth stopping back past the Ark and gathering some gear that might be more
Yeah, I don't
appropriate?
think we should make any hasty jumps from. Let's go back, regroup. We're not
Okay.
canceling. We're not. Gonna
What time
not go.
was the footage that we watched? Like on the time code, the last time Erin was seen was what time?
It was around 1:56 a.m.
So it's feasibly. It's
Right
strange
as
to see
you
the
right
distance.
as you remember, right as you rocked up, the explosion happened.
So she was still there
She was still there
when we turned up,
So she's
and then
Her-
now
her
or
phone pinged 3 hours away.
three. Well, we only called 15 minutes ago, like half an hour ago,
Yep.
right? So was it half an hour ago that it pinged, or it pinged 3 hours ago?
No. So it pinged. This is in real time. Currently, the last time it picked up was 30 minutes ago. Let's say
Yeah.
30 minutes ago. That was the last time Erin picked up. But the place where it pinged is 3 hours away.
Okay,
from
so it's
Alston.
3 hours away, and it is currently 4:30 or something like that. Yeah.
That's not
So,
possible.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to
I
figure
mean,
out.
We don't know.
That's
We don't know if she had her phone on her here as well. Like her phone could have been out there the whole time.
When did she message you?
She messaged me first thing this morning. Well, our evening. First thing this evening.
Okay. So it's unlikely that she has her phone, or there's some weird timey-wimey shit going on.
Or she's just moving at an extremely fast speed.
Or
There are things that move that fast.
there could be occult ways of transporting her from the casino into the desert.
Potentially.
Would explain why there was no footage of her leaving after the
Exactly.
blip.
You do remember a time, Professor Tristan, in which you were transported through the shadows.
Mm-hmm.
It's on the
La Sombra, especially, can you describe to me the storage unit that she went into?
Enclosed space, chairs stacked, no other exits or entrances apart from the one to the hallway. Nothing else of note in that room besides her necklace.
Any interior lighting or
Pulls
like
out the
light
necklace.
source?
Is there any way of telling if that necklace has been exposed to any occult stuff? Is there any, like, would there be any trace of anything on it?
Not that we can do, but
Yeah.
Arc definitely could. La Sombra do have the unique ability to essentially open something akin to a temporary wormhole in areas of extreme darkness and link. It's almost like it's a network between the two. So if she went into that storage unit, then that's likely what's occurred.
Okay.
Which,
So there's no point chasing after her then. We should prepare before we go and try and get after it.
Yep.
let's go back home, debrief, run through, let's cover everything, regroup, get some rest, and make sure that we're fresh. Just because we're resting doesn't mean we won't send other people into it, so like we're not going to leave her alone, but we'll cover everything we've encountered today.
Where it pinged, was that close to like where I thought Haley was
No.
at all? No? Different location. Okay.
With the phone number that's being tracked, like it's on Aline's laptop, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Is the phone number on there? Does that match the phone number that we used to contact 9 on? Is
Yes.
it the same mobile?
It's the exact same mobile number.
This you know what? We'll discuss this during the debrief after some rest. I think there is maybe potentially some information we weren't aware that there's someone who's operated under a pseudonym before, working alongside the blank bodies, and their activity has been linked to this mobile number before.
It's not possible.
It could be a mistake, but there is, as a positive note, this individual is noted to have not been kindred. They're not a blank body. They're still living there, but they're also someone operating a business relationship, facilitating needs of the blank bodies. Especially a close proximity with Maxi Seraph, who we noted previously, has been, especially they work closely together previously. So if in the event that we find that Arrernte has moved outside our jurisdiction, that doesn't mean that at least we can then follow Maxi and see if we can find a commonality and a link and move from there. If we assume that so obviously let's just table the situation with Arrernte at the moment and move to the others. So it looks like there is a group of kindred who were operating here. We don't necessarily know that they are directly linked to the cube, let's call it. I'll say to Aline, I'd like to run a standard practice for kindred, notify the greatest congregation of people in Alice Springs, so casinos, popular bars, speak to the proprietors. I want images of these individuals up, linked to what's occurred on the casino, and to alert us if anyone sees them as well. If we make it as difficult as possible for them to feed.
It's quite difficult to work with the local owners. They don't quite trust police.
That's fair. Have we got anyone else who can get in touch with them through unofficial channels?
No. Legally, no.
I've got one dot in Streetwise and a specialty in Black Market.
You only know the drug dealers in town, Dr.
Okay.
Yue.
But do you know the drug dealers in town?
You know who knows someone?
I may know someone who knows someone. I would like to... Alright, let me speak to my contacts and see if they can come up with anything. Just any recent purchases of blood.
Jackson might know some things with his connections.
Does Jackson have connections?
You don't know yet.
That's another congregation.
Yeah.
Although in this church as well.
I have some friends I can probably call as well.
Do they operate in the areas or?
Oh, not the same areas, but doesn't hurt to try.
Sure. So we just make it as difficult as, like, if we can, the harder it is for them to move around freely and the harder it is for them to feed, the more it's going to make it much more difficult for them, and then they're going to mess up, and that's when we can catch them. There's also, the Toreador. Is there any art galleries or centers or something like that around in Alice Springs?
There's a lot, yeah.
Cool. Let's send some people around just to have surveillance on those areas.
Yes.
So I'd like surveillance on any art galleries and surveillance on let's say the top. I don't know how many agents we have available, so whatever the most likely feeding places that we can spare that's not going to inhibit the Ark's resources.
All right.
And to contact us if they're there. There's something I would like to try. If I'm going to call 9's number to see if there's an answer.
Go straight to voicemail.
That's fine. With the voicemail, I'm just going to leave the voicemail saying, I have a paying job to deliver a message. Get back to me with what the rate is, and I'll translate the message.
All right.
Does the voicemail say whose phone it is? When you've reached the number of such and such, does it give a name or?
You've reached the number, and it's it's more like beep. Hi, it's Erin. If you hear me here, it means I'm not here. So just leave a message.
Was that always the voicemail for?
To be honest, they answered last time. Or at least that's what I heard.
All right. And you do reach the Ark. Sun is rising, so I suggest that Dr. Yue do go to bed. And any last minute preparations before bed?
Is there enough time for me to call my black market contact?
At this time, no.
Okay.
You
I'll do that
have
tomorrow.
10 minutes to run to your bed before you collapse, unless you want to collapse on the floor of the hallway again.
You just see you legging it.
Fair. Before bed, is there an Inquisition presence in Queensland?
No.
Cool. I'll let Sydney know. Seeing as they're the closest facility regarding.
Can I ask my dad to put a call out?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be texting him, morning, papa.
Dear Papa.
Hello, papa. And just be like, can you give me a call when you're up? I think he's probably an early riser, so.
Immediately after that sentence.
Yeah. And then just ask him to sort of can you put basically what you were wanting to do, essentially the same sort of thing, make it as difficult as possible. Can you just talk to these people if you can and get them to keep an eye out?
Yeah.
It's particularly people in Queensland. Can you and also reach out and see if there's any reports sort of at the borders, something like that.
I might give Jackson a call and just make sure everything's fine. He's on his way back as well.
Yeah, Jackson answers and says, yes, sir, we're on our way. Miss Vera Walker and her team and 2 other visitor passes will be needed.
For her team, or?
There would be 4 people plus 2 civilians.
Who are the 2 civilians?
It's her brother, sir, and his friend.
Miles.
And who's the? Can you describe the friend?
The friend is Southeast Asian young. Guy.
Well, they're not getting ARC passes. They can come to. We can give them temporary access to Pine Gap. We're not taking them into. Like, we're a secret facility for a reason.
Yeah, what is she doing?
Yeah, can you
bringing
please?
people here?
Yeah, can you put Vera on the line?
Yep. And Vera, hello?
Hi, Vera. Jackson has informed me that there's 2 additional personnel with you.
Yes, they are persons of interest. I think you would want to see what they actually have.
Yeah, sounds excellent.
There's no
I think
conflict of interest here at all.
Yeah, maybe best that we meet them in the Pine Gap facility before.
They are in the know. These 2 are trained hunters. It's just that they are dumb enough to actually run off without proper
Okay.
training.
All right.
Trained hunters who are seen in the company of kindred.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess we'll see them soon. We will probably need some rest before we speak with them.
We're currently on the way, 10 minutes out.
Okay. Yeah. I guess we can speak to them and we'll record it for UA
Yeah.
to watch. No worries. All right. Well, Aline, can you please organize 2 additional temporary access passes, restricting them purely to quarters and like the main hall and nowhere else?
Right, yeah.
Also, Yue speaks in the private chat. It may be a good idea that we don't let Jackson out of sight again,
Oh yeah, that's fair. I don't think
just in case something happens to him.
I was kind of wanted to see if something would happen to him. Not die, but I just wanted to see if he was trustworthy, if he was going to pull something. Like, it was a prime opportunity for him to do so, but I don't think he's skilled enough to take Vera. That's fine. Well, we need to start investing some trust in them, I guess. But that's fair. I think that's pretty valid to not leave him out of sight as much as possible, especially at least off-site. I don't want I don't want him away from any Inquisition members, but that seems to be kind of his goal at the moment too. All right.
Mr. Locke, everyone else had gone back except for Professor Tristan, who's preparing for a meeting. Long night.
Aline, fetch me the double strength coffee.
Mr. Locke, what are you up to?
Mr. Locke is going to go and seek out if there is anyone who has tracing abilities to take the necklace to, basically to go and see if there's anyone, find out if they're awake or not.
Most of the agents with artistic abilities are actually awake during the morning, so they most likely had just woken up. Probably find them in the cafeteria, getting some coffee.
Cool. Yeah. Mr. Locke will go to one of them and pull out the necklace. Could you trace this for me? Trace the owner of this for me.
Oh, okay. Yes.
How quickly can you do it?
I mean, just half an hour.
Half an hour? No worries.
You see this? What seems to be just a woken up agent. she grabs the necklace. Her hair is a mess in a really messy bun. She's holding out coffee and just takes the necklace. Quite
Mr. Locke starts to walk off before sort of realizing like the situation that they've just put this poor agent into, and then turns around and says, "But finish your morning routine first, then get it done."
Yes,
and then walks back
yes, sir. All right.
Damn recruits.
Are you heading back to your room?
Yeah, Mr. Locke will first head back past the armory to put back all of their items, and then head to their room.
Which someone didn't do.
Sorry?
Did you go past the armory to?
Oh no, I would have been taking my phone call in the armory. Like, that would have been my first place of going to.
That's your home.
That's home,
Your home.
yeah.
There's a bunk.
That's unless there's a reason that's where I am.
So Mr. Locke would have seen Tanya for heading away. All right, Professor Tristan. After 10 minutes of Aline handing you triple strength coffee, the group does walk in, accompanied by 2 agents of the Ark. It seems it's just an all-American team.
Brilliant.
The only one that the only one that matters is just Vera Walker. The other three look like assholes, like Mr. Talon.
In that 10 minutes, I would probably just reviewed any updates. Did anything of significance happen at the Ark?
No, nothing.
Alright, good. As long as the artifact area is still safe and there's not a rampant wraith.
Raphael has currently locked himself in there with the wraith, so we'll hear back from that.
Oh god. He's a cube. Alright, no worries. I'll just sit and drink my coffee.
Aside from the American team, two of the young men that you have seen on the screen of the surveillance footage does shuffle in. Both of them look tired and sleepy.
When they came in, I'm assuming they're like I'm watching them come through all like security cameras and stuff like that. Like I have no doubt we have thermal cameras for a reason. They're all like human body temperature, right? None of them.
Yeah, all of them are warm.
Sure. Just making sure.
None of them have set
And the
off
sun
any
is up now too.
Yeah, that's a good point. Actually, you're right.
But they do shuffle in, and as they shuffle in, Vera Walker points to the two and says, "Meet Coma," or COMA.
Which one did you point out?
Both of them.
They're both coma.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So they own a YouTube channel that you have been talking to me about. I did not know that this existed beforehand. Where they, if you watch any of the videos, they do go on ghost hunts.
Interesting.
And then you hear Miles pipe up. Why are you putting in quotation marks? We're actually hunting ghosts and wraiths, you know?
And live streaming it as well.
Yeah, I mean, nobody would know that it's real. Also, even if it's real, they're all gonna be like, "Oh, spooky."
And how did your night tonight go? A successful hunt?
That wasn't even our hunt. We're supposed to be partying.
Did they live stream the cube or did they live stream something else? Just what was happening?
They were the one who saw the cube and started recording that and sent it off to people.
Okay.
However, the actual live stream is with them running away from the area, trying to gather as much clout.
Well, you obviously understand what a serious circumstance this is, so I'll give you the opportunity to run me through the rationale. So you saw, start off with me. You came out to party. Was it just the two of you? Who were you in the company of?
No, Aaron's with us, and the new girl.
And what's the new girl's name?
Ilona.
Ilona. And you're familiar with this Aaron individual? I'm sorry, I'm not.
Yeah, we've been friends since high school.
Okay, so the four of you decided to come to the casino. Then what happened?
Marcus pipes up. This is a guy you haven't known the name of, but he does say, we were just there. Erin met somebody she knew. Forgot their name. I think Delilah something. She's quite friendly. And her group kind of joined our group, and we were supposed to go drink stuff, but then the guy with them is military, maybe police officer.
So this other group, you've got Delilah. Who else was there? What are the others' names?
Oh, I don't know. There was like the asshole blonde, and Marcus was telling this to Miles, and Miles was just like shaking his head.
You didn't get their names?
Like Charlie, something. Yeah, it was the military guy's name, I think.
Okay.
And yeah, both of us left. We went outside to feel the breeze, and both of them look shifty at this.
To feel the breeze.
Yeah, like enjoy life, you know.
So do you want to tell me what you actually did, or are we going to continue to frustrate me?
We had a little
I don't care what you smoked or anything. It's in your best interest to be honest.
And then they started elbowing each other just to see who would actually crack first. And then you see Vera just glaring straight down at her own brother. And Miles rolls his eyes and says, "We're smoking weed
Okay,
in the parking lot, okay?"
no worries. And then what happened?
Yeah, and then the explosion happened.
No worries. So there was an explosion while you're smoking weed. Then what did you do?
We're pretty high. Oh no, there was like the thing beforehand. When we went in, there was this person who's a cube, but I think that happened as we left. We're not sure.
Did you see what? Talk to me about this cube. What did it just appear? How did it get there?
Oh, it just appeared. I don't know.
Like did it fall? Was
Well,
it just there?
we didn't see. It probably appeared while we were outside, but
Okay. So, all right, you see the cube, and you decide to.
I was sending the video to some friends to see if it's real, authenticity, you know. Then sent it to my sister, but you know she doesn't have her phone. Then the explosion thing, the panic inside the whole casino started, and we got separated from Aaron.
Okay. So where did you go?
We left to the parking lot where we were live streaming.
No worries. So you stayed at the parking lot.
Yeah?
Did you see anybody new?
No?
No one came. Did anyone come through there at all?
Well, a lot of people came through the doors. Just nobody we recognize.
Okay. So you stayed. Did you live stream the whole time that you were in the car park?
Yeah?
Okay. So you live stream in the car park, and then that's all that happened until your sister came and picked you up?
Well, and Vera is just Vera was holding a pen and writing notes this whole time, and you can hear the pen snap in half. And see Miles and Marcus just freeze up and then just look at each other, and then Miles brings out his phone and says, "Well, I got this message from Aaron. Think you should see." And it's a video from in their group chat. It's a video, and it looked like somebody taking a video using Aaron's phone. It's a top-down view. And it seems Aaron is in a middle of, seems to be a mock arena coliseum kind of deal. And she is, at the moment of this video, currently fighting what seems to be a lion with a spear.
Okay.
But it's a short 30-second of her dodging, that's it. And you can hear people yelling and things.
All right.
I'm just like, I don't know what that is. Like, maybe it's an old video. I don't know if that's a new video.
What time did she send it? Does it say?
It was around 40 minutes ago.
Okay.
The live stream footage of the car park.
So, let's say this to Vera. So we need to get the live stream footage and to have that reviewed as well. Specifically, we're looking to get the number plates of the vehicle. We need to account for all the vehicles and number plates that we see during that footage, and also the individuals in it. This arena footage, so can we please put that on a record and archive as well? I'll leave your brother you can handle your brother and his friend how you want to.
Yeah, that would be fine.
Yep.
Has Aaron's phone pinged anymore? Since we called like a couple hours
You
ago?
don't know that. You're currently in
In the
bed.
armory. No, I'm not in the armory.
Yeah.
Can I check that from the armory? Can I
No.
log into the systems?
But yeah, if we
This
saw
is
the
in Aline's system, so no.
I would ask. Lean's here with us.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd ask like, with the message sent 40 minutes. That's after the text message was sent. Was there an update on the location?
No.
Yeah, fair. Interesting. All right. Thank you to Vera. I'll leave these two. They fall under your jurisdiction, not mine.
Yep, I'm taking them back with me and heading. I'll be back here in the Ark once sun is down.
Yeah, that sounds good. I'll ask just to Aline as well. Can you please the footage? Can we have those in the library reviewing it? I want to know what sort of lion that is. I want to know what sort of spear that is. I want to know everything about. Is that a specific technique of fighting she's using? Is that what they're chanting? What language is it? What sort of architecture this thing is? Is it during the day that this is like? Is it sunlight? She's fighting a lion.
It seems to be underground. There's spotlights.
This is spotlights. I want to know everything we possibly can from this.
Right? Yeah.
Yep. No worries. And yeah, I guess that's everything for now. Yeah, I'll contact Raphael as well just to make sure. Since
Are you gonna go see him?
yeah, I'll probably head down there before I sleep. I guess I'm curious if like there's maybe some sensitivity if there's a wraith doing something in a casino. If there's a wraith down there.
Yep.
Yep.
Are you doing anything else, Tanya?
Oh, absolutely. I think first thing that Tanya will be doing is one, taking all the gear back. I think then making more like specific ammo for what she thinks they might end up needing. And then I think if she can, she's going to just be trying to do any sort of research on anything that might be helpful to sort of try and help track down Haley and Erin.
Yeah.
Nice.
At this point in time, the Haley and Aaron front has been exhausted. Everyone is currently on the way of trying to find clues regarding them. But if you're staying up late, you're gonna be exhausted
I
tomorrow
think
night.
Tanya's like Red Bull pre-workout, no dose. I'm good to go for another 24 hours. Let's roll.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go down to see Raphael, double check.
The artifact room itself is kind of in the lockdown. However, once you put your code in, it does open. The artifact room itself is quite cold.
Mm-hmm.
The testing room area is freezing. And you can see Raphael is currently doing a kind of a weird dance with a bunch of what looks to be leaves. And there's a bunch of what seems to be paper with writings on it all over his body, and he's just vigorously waving it around.
Do I recognize this? Is there a reason? Do I know of any reason he'd be doing this?
I mean, there are rituals and
Fair.
accusation.
Yeah. I will wait for him to finish.
He is just yelling. Seems to be another language. Maybe it's Korean for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And he's still waving it around when he does sees you, and then he just stops midway.
How are your efforts going?
Doing great, I think. I mean, this ritual came from my grandma, but it's still working, exorcising bad spirits, I guess.
No worries. Well, if there's any updates, let me know.
Yeah.
I'll give him a thumbs up and head out. And I'll go ahead to get some rest. I'll make sure I have my mobile with me on as loud as possible, just in the chance that if the message I left for 9, there's any response. Otherwise, yeah, other than getting a snack.
Gonna let us know about that footage?
Oh, when we do a debrief.
Okay.
Like, yeah. You just go. He assumes everyone's asleep. Well, actually, he assumes Tanya's not, but he assumes everyone else is asleep and assumes Tanya's pinging.
Yep. He assumes
But,
correctly.
Yes. But he'll prepare a report for the debrief and then just send everyone a calendar invite for mission debrief/brief for the next evening.
What time? 7 p.m.
Sunset.
Actually, sunset is quite early. 4 p.m. it is.
Beautiful.
You do see as you head back towards headquarters, you do see Adeline heading out with the American group.
Mm-hmm.
And you can hear some whispers, some annoyed whispers from the males of the group saying, inhospitable, rude. Just random colorful words, maybe pointed towards the arc in general.
That's fair. I take that as a compliment. As I walk past, I guess, are they do I walk right past them or are they just?
Yeah, you have to walk past them.
As I walk past, I say, you should have seen what it was like before. Continue on. I guess also when Tristan gets to his room, he'll probably open up a book, and in that book will be a list of names, and then he'll probably next to Maxi put a tick, Maxi and 9 put a tick before putting the book back away.
Alright. And as our agents sleep and the morning actually starts, except for Tanya, she's not gonna sleep. Totally not going to suffer for that later.
Pretty sure it's a really
Just
regular
put it-
occurrence.
Maybe get 4 or 6 hours. You got a long time.
Yeah.
Alright.
He speaks to the microphone. Tanya, go to bed. This is your boss speaking.
The walls are speaking to
He
me
speaks
again.
the whole
Get some
arc.
rest.
Tanya, please go to bed. Report to snooze time.
Our agents, at least most of our agents, goes to bed. Normal day shift starts within the arc. Most of the researchers well on their way to actually sift through the calls and research all the recordings of everything that's happened so far. Most of them are trying to cover up the fact that there were people with claws that were witnessed. There was murder, carnage. However, even though the news report of an ABC has shown that there were mass murder within Alice Springs Casino, nobody else within Australia or the world gives a shit. It
Facts.
barely reached 50,000 views. That is how much people do not care about Alice Springs in general. And as the day continues, we see the black van of the American agents drive back to their headquarters or their temporary headquarters. Within the van, as we zoom in as the audience, we see Vera Walker debriefing the other agents. One is driving. She has her laptop open and she does go through all the footages with them. And then she starts to say there was some individuals that was not informed towards the Australian group. There are, I think, we saw at least, how many individuals is this? And then she mutters as she shows them what seems to be a stunning blonde lady, mid-30s, impeccable taste, does not look like Delilah Jones but has similar taste. Seems to be a screenshot from the surveillance camera, quite blurry, however you can still see most of the distinguishing features. Seems to be, we are, as us, we would look towards suspiciously good-looking people, and these are one of them. We don't have a name, however, we will assign a code name after debriefing later on, the official one. There is another one and another image pops up on the screen, and it seems to be another lady with black hair and white highlights on her hair. She seems to be wearing all black, holding onto a young girl with seems to be pink hair, maybe early 20s, late teens maybe. And Vera Walker starts talking, and we have reasons to believe that that is Ilona Winters, who have been running from the other base. I'm not sure if the one with her is also part of this group. And then there's the La Sombra class. And she taps her keyboard, and it's just an extremely blurry image of, seems to be a male figure. So these are some things we have to look towards. We will decide as a group whether or not we will impart this information towards the Australians. However, we have reasons to believe that these individuals are also blanks. There are also, aside from that, we also have to keep in mind that our mission is to actually find the thing. And you can hear yes ma'am from all the other guys, and you see Marcus and Miles just look at each other, glance at each other before we as an audience zoom out, see their van just driving along that empty road and the desert all around them as we end our story here for the night. Yeah. Once again, thank you very much for joining us for this episode. My name is Rina, and I've been the storyteller for this evening.
My name is MK, and I've been playing Tanya.
My name is Joel, and I'm playing Professor Tristan, the nicest Inquisitor you'll ever meet.
I am Evie, and I've been playing Dr. Yue, the equation consultant.
I'm Kat, and I've been playing Mr. Locke, who's just Mr. Locke.
Mr. Locke is a mystery.
But yeah, we'll see you again next episode where we will see the Bahari point of view of things.